Religious freedom laws being revised in 2 states this morning. In Indiana, lawmakers set to announce changes to that state's controversial new law. And in Arkansas, Governor Asa Hutchinson backpedaling on his pledge to sign their measure into law. So what happened? Let's turn to Joe Solmonese. He's the former president of the Human Rights Campaign, and Tim Swearens. He's the opinion editor for the Indianapolis Star. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. Tim, I want to start with you. You were part of the editorial team that published this front page ad. Let me put it up. It says, "Fix this now." You must feel a tremendous sense of satisfaction today.
We're hopeful. We're hopeful that the General Assembly will move swiftly to enact legislation that will help fix this now. The state has been in turmoil for the past week or so. We think we're on the verge of finding a way out. Both sides have given quite a bit here, and we'll see what happens later today.
Okay, Joe, let's talk about those fixes. What are they going to do in Indiana and Arkansas to fix these laws?
Well, as you reported in the previous segment, they're making all sorts of concessions, but as you said, I don't think anything they do is going to make either side particularly happy. The substance and the spirit of the law remain, and I think the reputational damage to Indiana, at least, is going to be in place for some time to come.
But Joe, what if they do a carve-out where they say you cannot discriminate against same-sex couples or homosexual people?
Well, I think it remains to be seen, how the law is applied and what the substance of the law ends up being then. If you go back to the fact that really these laws are moving in these states in a response to the success we've had on marriage equality, and as an effort to sort of mollify or appease folks out there who are opposed to it, as a way to say, look, here's a way to sort of help you opt out. So if what that does, as you're suggesting, is sort of empty out the law, I guess I'm not quite sure then what the law does.
Tim, let me talk to you about what Governor Asa Hutchinson said yesterday in his announcement. Basically, he said that he had a change of heart because he was lobbied by a very powerful lobbyist, namely his 31-year-old son, Seth. Here's what the governor said.
It has divided families, and there is clearly a generational gap on this issue. My son, Seth, signed the petition asking me, Dad, the governor, to veto this bill. And he gave me permission to make that reference.
And, I mean, Tim, that's the crux of the matter, isn't it? That there's this generational divide. We have a new poll that illustrates just how differently the generations see this. Let me just show you. 18 to 29-year-olds see this issue in the complete reverse order than people 65 years old and older do. When asked, should businesses be required to serve same-sex weddings, 18 to 29-year-olds say sure. 62% say yes, whereas if you're over 65, 60% say no. Therein lies the whole heart of the matter, Tim.
Unquestionably, there's a generational gap. It's playing out here in the state. It's playing out here in political circles in the state. We have younger Republicans who have been involved in the process of trying to find a fix. They're very passionate, very upset with what they see happening in their own party.
Joe, it sounds to me from reading your notes that you think that the reference to his son Seth was a nice touch, but really what swayed Governor Hutchinson was the businesses like Walmart saying that they can't support this.
I think it was both. I think certainly Governor Hutchinson learned a lesson from watching Governor Pence and I think attempted to sort of, inject some common humanity and some acknowledgement that he sort of stands in opposition to young people. And those numbers, by the way, are true for, as Tim referenced, Democrats, Republicans, even, Christian evangelicals under the age of 30. But it's true that I think one of the great successes of the LGBT movement over the last decade has been the partnership that we've had with corporate America and our understanding that in situations like this one, we do well to lead with one of our strongest assets, which, in this case are our corporate allies, whether it's Tim Cook or whether it's the CEO of Walmart.
So, Tim, last, how does Governor Pence recover from this today?
It's going to be very difficult. He is faced with a very difficult choice. The economic fiscal conservatives in his own party desperately want him to sign this. The social conservatives are going to be upset with him. He's losing both ends of his base.
Tim Swearens, Joe Solmonese, thanks so much for your perspective on this. Let's get over to